The legend of the Smith sisters has a few variations when it's told. One involves an email chain letter that the sender must forward to others or be killed in the same way as the sisters are in this story. The other variation is an online chat. Version 1. Lisa Smith, 19, and her sister Sarah, 15, were attacked and killed in their home around 1:30, and this was on the night of November 17th in 1993. They lived in Plainfield, Wisconsin. Plainfield was also the home of killer Ed Gein. Ed Gein was a killer from the 50s, and he inspired the Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well as the movie Psycho. Sarah was stabbed and strangled in her bed. Her sister Lisa was found hanging in her sister's closet. She was skinned alive. No one heard their screams for help. The motive was never discovered, and the attacker was never found. The case was closed in October of 2000. Years later, a boy named John, who also lived in Plainfield, received an email from someone that he didn't know. At first, John thought that the message was just a joke. In the email, a girl said that she was his older sister. She told him that she and her sister lived in his house. His room used to be their bedroom. They told him all about their childhood and how happy they had been until that one awful night. He told them that he didn't have any sisters and for them to leave him alone. The sisters then replied, and they told him that they were angry that their case was closed and that people forgot about them. What case, he was wondering. They were telling him that they were angry that their parents even wanted to forget about them. Their parents had started over and they had a new baby, and they never even mentioned their daughters to John. John didn't have a clue what they were talking about. The next day, he received a message with a photo attached. It was a photo that was taken when the girls were younger. The caption said, "Smith sisters murdered anonymously." He again told them to leave him alone. They had the wrong person. He didn't have any siblings, dead or alive. 5 minutes later, he got another email and it said, "If you don't believe us, look in the bedroom closet." That was the last email that was found on John's computer. Police weren't able to trace who had sent the messages. On the floor of the closet, the police found a message that was carved into the wood. It said Lisa and Sarah, 1993. Under that was another carving, and it said John, 2007. No one knows what John did next, but when his parents woke up the next morning, John wasn't in his room, and they checked his closet to see if he had run away or something, to see if he had taken some clothes with him. And when they opened the door, they found his body skinned alive, just like his sister Lisa. 2 sisters were murdered, and then years later, their brother is murdered in exactly the same way, in exactly the same place. It was too strange to just be a coincidence. The only evidence was the weird email sent from some girls named Sarah and Lisa, just like their daughters. Second version. Lisa was on social media and she started talking to a guy that she didn't know. He said that he knew who she was. He then said that he would be coming to her house soon. Lisa got scared, so she went to make sure that all the doors and windows were shut and locked, and her sister had already gone to bed. After a few hours, she went to sleep, and a little while later, she heard a knock on the window. She walked over to it, but she didn't see anything, so she went to lay back down. Then she noticed a really bad smell. It was coming from the direction of Sarah's bed. Sarah's bed looked extremely wet, which didn't make any sense. She was too old to be peeing the bed. Lisa turned the lights on to see what was going on. She saw that her younger sister had been brutally murdered. She heard a strange noise, so she hid in her sister's closet. The man walks by the door and the noise stops. The door suddenly flies open and the man grabs Lisa and he pulls her out of the closet. The next day, the parents sadly found the bodies of their teenage daughters. What was left of Lisa's body was hanging in the closet. Years later, the parents decided to try for another child. They gave birth to a baby boy. They named him John. The girls' rooms were converted to a guest bedroom, as well as a bedroom for the baby. One night when John was older, he gets on his computer. He gets a weird instant message from a girl claiming to be his older sister, Lisa. He told her that he didn't have any sisters. Lisa then tells him to look into the closet because the day that she and her sister were killed was printed on the door. She also tells him to look up Smith girls murdered anonymously on the internet. He checks the closet and he sees the markings. He searches for the murder case online and a lot of results come up. The next morning, John went downstairs to an eerily quiet house. He figures that his parents are still in bed, so he goes back upstairs to their room. He sees blood leaking from the closet door. Sadly, he finds both of his parents in their closet, skinned alive. He then sees a message carved in the door. It says, "I told you I wasn't lying. Little brother, I loved mom and dad, but they kept me a secret. I can't believe it. Well, I'm free from this cold world. I won't hurt you like I hurt them. I love you." Third version, chat version. The sisters received some strange messages in a chat room from a user with the username Crazy186. The messages said, "Hey baby, who's this? Your secret admirer. No, really, quit lying. Who's this? I loved you the first time I stared in your eyes. We met once. I don't think you remember though. Tonight you will see me. Who is this? Don't worry, I'll take very good care of you. Around 1:30 in the morning, someone broke into their home. The next day, their parents found their bodies in the closet. They also see the carving on the door. It has both of their names and the exact times that they died. The killer was never found. The only lead that police had were the chat logs. They did an extensive search, but they never found the killer, and the motive is unclear. Some people feel a strong urge to pass on the email chain letter. If you come across this in your inbox, please don't forward it. You must delete it immediately and make sure to empty the trash folder.